Most companies tell their talent acquisition professionals to go after the passive candidate. That's the key word here, passive candidate. We're looking for people that aren't really looking. We're looking for people that are employed. We're looking for people that are doing the job, maybe for a competitor or some other sector. They're the ones that we're looking for. Well, how do you find those people if you're inside a talent acquisition department in a company? How do you go about identifying and then contacting and bringing those passive candidates, the ones that I like to say didn't know they were looking for a job until I contacted them? How do you bring them into process? That is the number one skill set to me to be a successful talent acquisition professional, internal, that you can bring to the table, is to be able to understand the marketplace, understand who you're going after, why you're going after them, how you're going to contact them, and then once you contact them, what are you going to do to bring them into the process and ultimately, hopefully, bring them over to your team, over to your company. So I'm going to give one example, and this is an example I use when I'm training staffs all the time. It's very efficient, and being down here in Florida, it's kind of pertinent to what we deal with on a daily basis as well. Recruiting can be a lot like fishing. And what I mean by that is when you decide you're going to go fishing, you usually decide what type of fish you want to catch. And once you have determined that, now you have to understand what kind of bait is being used. And then you have to decide, where do I go? In my case, out in the Gulf, am I going 5 miles out, 25 miles out? Am I going north? Am I going south? And once I get there, what do I do? How do I catch these fish? Once I get them hooked, how do I reel them in? All these examples are what the professional captain, in this case, professional recruiting manager or talent acquisition professional, needs to understand. The professional captain reads charts, studies the information, talks to other professional captains in the area to see what is being done to capture the fish that they are being paid to bring aboard. And that's the way talent acquisition should be treated in reality. It's not just going after whoever happens to be out there and whoever happens to bite to your LinkedIn ad or your other ad or your other blast email that you're sending out. You want to have an understanding of who's in the marketplace. You want to have an understanding of who to go after within that marketplace. And then once you do get them on the phone, or they show interest in an email to set up a phone call, you have what your next steps are going to be. I like to say that every step should lead to the next step, which should lead to ultimately bringing them into process. So an email should lead to a phone call. Phone call should lead to maybe a more deeper phone call or a phone call with a hiring manager, which should lead to bringing them into process. Those type of situations will make the recruiting engine of any company more productive, more efficient, and again, more cost effective. So key points here is understanding the marketplace, understanding what fish are in that body of water, and how are you going to bring them to the bait. Understanding what bait to use, understanding how to use that bait to get them hooked, and then bringing them up into the boat or into the process. And you want to do this in a way that is fluid, in a way that allows the candidate on the other end to feel empowered, to feel as if they want that next step to happen. They want to find out what's going on. I'll leave you with this. I used to like to say that when a candidate hung up after a phone call, my hope would be that they talk to their wife or their husband or their partner or their children or neighbors or best friends and go, I got a call today from this recruiter, And I never really thought about possibly making a move, but after speaking with him, I really am excited about the prospect of this position, and I'd like to see where it goes. I think when you can do that, when you can elicit that kind of response and that kind of emotion in a potential candidate, a prospect, then you're doing your job. For more information, please go to schreibertalent.com, and you can always send me and reach out to me on Twitter. And of course, I am on LinkedIn, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.